Today we are reading A True History of the Daythunder Knight. Historical notes penned by an anonymous author. The pages are covered with edits and corrections, suggesting the author struggled with their conclusions. This collectible can be found starting from the arching bone mech space anchor in Fortress of Dome, Eye of Twilight. It is found in the corner of the hall, leading to the Rainbow Bridge. The beginning of this section shows signs of having been erased and rewritten, and the author's name has been intentionally removed. If anyone reads this and finds that the historical truth differs greatly from their assumptions, don't be surprised. History is nothing more than the consensus of the living about the past. If a certain piece of history, by its very existence, causes harm to people, then those who choose to forget it should not be condemned as fools or cowards. Daythunder Knight Celiosa, usurper of Aquila's divine authority, Theos Synthetos of the sky. Such an incredibly powerful figure, and yet when she was a young girl freshly cast out from the sky folk, she was nothing more than an ordinary girl forced into isolation. Within the large family, factional disputes were inevitable, and indeed quarrels between the sun folk and the rain folk were frequent. But for the young Celiosa, her true trouble lay in the fact that she bled golden blood. Golden blood was both a mark of divine strength and a curse of being other. The young girl grew wary of living a life where she constantly had to prove herself to others, so she embarked on a journey of wandering. In the silent wilderness, she encountered Lunibus and Sullibus, beings unlike humans, with whom she quickly built trust, hunting, growing, and living together, taking them as her teachers to learn their arts and expand her horizons. True to her golden blood, after many years of study far from home, the young girl had grown into the unparalleled Daythunder Knight, and even Aquila in the sky dared not ignore her wings. Perhaps deep inside she never wished to be a lonely paragon, or maybe her childhood ideal of saving the skyfolk had never left her heart. Whatever the reason, as a powerful outsider, she returned to the tribes of the skyfolk and declared that she would strike down Aquila, the titan, who was weak and cowardly, so that people's lives could enter a new stage, one filled with hope. I often wonder, what if the Daythunder Knight hadn't desired to save the skyfolk? Would things have turned out differently if she had simply struck down Aquila because she wanted to, without inviting her fellows, those who were so far apart from her in spirit, to share the victory? Could many of the tragedies that followed have been avoided? Perhaps the skyfolk could have continued their old way of life, finding solace in the fallen Aquila, and perhaps, for the Daythunder Knight, letting them continue on their own path wouldn't have been much of a loss. Unfortunately, history has no what-ifs. In my estimation, the Daythunder Knight's true wish may have been for all the skyfolk to become proud and solitary knights like her. She sincerely wanted to love everyone equally, using that lofty standard, but reality cruelly proved that rather than becoming spiritual nobility, most skyfolk were more disposed to become those of no ability. The more she despised Aquila, the more some began to worship her in the same way the previous generations had worshipped Aquila. Except for the wording of their mottos, nothing really differed. As an outsider, she could only use extreme violence to control the very people she sought to save, much like a parent who, accustomed to hitting their children, can only express their distorted love through domestic violence. At least in her understanding, this was indeed a form of love. The following text also shows signs of having been erased and rewritten. When this brief biography was originally written, the situation wasn't beyond saving, but after today, I will be the last of the skyfolk, and according to the agreement with her, I will search for new meaning for the history she has written in the future. I don't know if I or my descendants will ever complete this mission, but if someone reads these notes, then I believe by that time, you may judge for yourself.